Folks, today I'm going to be talking about the Hindus' ignorance of Shiv Lingam. Very, very important, extremely important. Many of the people think that they can worship Lingam without the Shakti underlying that. Have you seen any temple where there is Lingam without the Yoni, that is the female sexual organ underneath? The male sexual organ, which is Lingam, represents consciousness, and the underlying Yoni or female sexual organ is energy, Shakti, energy. Without the energy, Shakti, consciousness cannot exist. There is always the energy associated with the consciousness. For example, in your case, you have this consciousness rooted at your mind. Mind is an energy, mental energy. It is rooted at that. That's why you are able to say words or recognize or think about the thoughts, recognize various things outside, because all those things are mapped by your sensual organs to the mind. There is a representation of everything outside, inside your mind, and then you are talking about it. You say, my name is this, this, this. It is a word, and your name is a word, a thought, and it is inside your mind. Can you touch your consciousness at all, at any time? Can you feel the consciousness? Yeah, I'm here, that's my feeling. No, that is just not your feeling. It is a thought. Your feeling is a thought. You are associating with that thought to have the feeling, I am feeling my consciousness. You cannot experience your consciousness without the underlying energy. And also, major ignorance is that Hindus are worshipping this female and male organs, sexual organs, and creating the impression to the world that these Hindus worship all kinds of things, including sexual organs. You are expecting Mr. Kalki to come and spread Sanatana Dharma everywhere. How can anybody spread Sanatana Dharma if you are worshipping female organ, sexual organ, and male organ without its real meaning? On the other hand, if you tell the people that Lingam is not just a really sexual organ of a male, it is consciousness. The Yoni underneath, the female sexual organ, is the energy. This symbol means the consciousness is always rooted means immersed in the energy. That's what it means. If you spread this information, if you do not worship this Lingam and Yoni, people will accept. Other religious people will accept. You are worshipping the consciousness and the energy. Even scientists will accept it. They are aware of what is consciousness. They don't know the real consciousness. That's another topic. They also know that it is always rooted in the mind, human mind. That's the only energy, only consciousness. The scientists are so aware of it. Nobody else knows anything else. Also, another great ignorance is that all men are Shiva, that is Shiva Lingam. All women are Shakti. Foolishness. Every human being has consciousness, which is Lingam, which you worship as a symbol. The Hindus worship that as a symbol, and the Shakti underlying it. It is there, even the mind is there, even in female. Human mind, female mind is there. Their consciousness for women, their consciousness, mental consciousness associated with their mind. That's how you should interpret. But many of the people don't know, and many of the gurus, Swamijis also don't know. They know how to dance like a Shiva. They build a huge temple, a huge statue for Shiva. Without Shakti, it cannot exist. They don't teach, they don't understand that. Mr. Kalki is supposed to come and remove all these ignorances. Where is that Kalki? How do I know this? Through one of my spiritual experiences. That's all you made up. Go anywhere. You keep on thinking like that. You are missing a very, very important chance, my dear friends. Hindus especially. Let me tell you my experience. As usual, I was just doing something else. Immediately, my mind was arrested. Everything was dark. Then I see a female sexual organ and a huge pillar-like thing going up. At that time, I don't know it's a Shiv Lingam. I was wondering, at that time I didn't even have a chance to wonder because my mind was arrested. And I see a vein, blood vein in the pillar, which later I know that as a Shiv Lingam. Immediately, as soon as I see that blood vein, my vision changes. There is a strange looking lake, with strange water, and there is a strange animal that you cannot see that animal anywhere in the world. Strange animal. It comes to me to attack me. That is a god. That is a god. God in what? You will see in a minute. It comes to me, looks at me, and I have no fear. And it just goes away. That god or animal, godding, which I am going to talk about, is that animal. That animal guards that information that I'm going to talk about. As soon as that went away, vision changes. There is a white sea of light. White sea of light, my dear friends. Then I go and I totally go and dip into that white sea of light. It's not sea, it's a sea of water, it's a sea of light, white light. Then I get up. And when I get up, I was all full of white light. And it was looking like a lingam, a pillar. That lingam, that consciousness, I become that consciousness. I realized that I am that consciousness. What is that strange looking animals protecting? This vision, this meaning of that symbol. Not anybody can enter into the white sea of light. And my consciousness of white light is rooted in the white light, in the sea of white light. Just like your consciousness is rooted in the darkness, which is the mind, human mind. That in that experience, my consciousness, which is full of white, it feels like a pillar. It's like full of white, made of white. That is the consciousness, white consciousness, and it is rooted. It arises from the white light. It's an energy. So now you learned a second example of a consciousness which is rooted, which has come out in a different energy, white light. None of you, nobody, absolutely nobody had this experience. If anybody tells you that they have this experience, ask them to come and meet me. I'll ask them further questions they cannot answer. What they can say is from their scriptures, from Shiv Purana or something like that. By the way, there are two major divisions of Hinduism. I see it. One is all this Brahminic, Vedic Hinduism, Upanishads, Vedas. I'm not saying which one is better. I'm just saying there are two. And everyone has an ignorance. And there is another, and that's what they call, all those people call Atman, Brahman, Brahmatman, all those people, including Mr. Ramana Maharishi. I'll come to Ramana Maharishi in a minute. He thinks that consciousness is a soul, is a self. And why people are born? He says people are born to realize self. But who created this life? No, life exists by itself. That's what everything exists for the Vedic people. Upanishad does not say in such a way. It explains certain ways. Okay? So now you know the second example of consciousness rooted in a different kind of energy, white light. Beyond this, there is in the darkness, before all the three lights or the three jyotis were created, I was. That consciousness is different. That consciousness, from my point of view, it's all same, one and the same. But it is rooted in the divine mind, the darkness. Divine mind, not the human mind. Divine mind. That is where that consciousness exists. Where is the root or energy for that consciousness? Divine mind, the darkness, divine darkness, not the human mind. That has the power, along with to create the energy called Vak. And that Vak creates these two eyes, and when the two eyes, the red eye and white eye, and when they merge, it creates the golden light. That's why the three murtis or three jyotis were created. And I explained in another video that how I merged with that golden light. That I means consciousness merged with the golden light. Golden light comes from me and goes and gives life to that one of the three female forms. Then immediately the middle one becomes alive, and I go and merge with that. That becomes a different kind of consciousness, golden consciousness. That's what you call unconditional love. That is what I call as unconditional. Nobody knows that as unconditional love. Everybody says it's a preserving energy because that represents Vishnu. Many people don't even know that Vishnu is gold color. That's why it's Shakti, Lakshmi is gold. And what a kind of ignorance the Hindus have. They think that Vishnu's energy, Lakshmi, is made of gold, real gold. So they think that if a woman bride comes to your house, they think she will bring gold. She's Lakshmi, looks like a Lakshmi. They think Lakshmi is symbol of gold because it's a gold color. What an ignorance, my dear friends. So, never think that consciousness can exist by itself. It's always rooted. It comes from, it exists in an energy form. Some time back, there was a fight between Muslims in one of the North Indian TV, between that and one of the kind of very famous, influential people in BJP. I don't know who started this fight, but in the middle of the fight, Muslim representative in the TV was saying, you worship all sexual symbol, Lingam. Then this woman got upset and she said, you are worshipping the Quran. Quran should be burnt, finished. Tremendous amount of fight between the two. And this has come out and Mr. Modi has to apologize to one of the Middle East Muslim country chief that it's just a normal fight. Then that lady was immediately ousted from the BJP party as an officer, not only an officer but also from the party itself. Now, tell people that we are worshipping the consciousness associated with an energy. Tell people, instead of we are worshipping the lingam, female sexual organ, male sexual organ with the underlying female sexual organ. What is the point of building Hanuman temple in USA without knowing such important thing? If you tell them, if you know this knowledge, then you can tell them that we are worshipping their consciousness, which you also have consciousness. And your consciousness is like me, rooted in your mind. That's what you are worshipping. Then they will ask, why do you have to worship? Why do you have to worship? Hindus have no answer. Mr. Ramana Maharishi will say, it is Atman. It is something superior. There is no superior, my dear friend. It is it's the same consciousness which when it's rooted in the divine mind. It is beyond even these three jyotis. The three jyotis, by the way, that represents the Om symbol. So before Om was created, three jyotis were created. That one was there. You can tell the people. You can tell other religious people. If you know it. If you know what it is. Many people think consciousness can be worshipped. By the way, they call this Ramana Maharishi and all other Vedic people. They think that there is something called pure consciousness. There is no such thing called pure consciousness. By pure consciousness, they think that if it is not associated with any thought, ask them to be aware of consciousness without thought. The very consciousness, very feeling that you have, that I am, which you call consciousness, is a thought. How can you imagine a consciousness without the energy, which is thought and which is mind? There is no such thing as a pure. Because these people think that everything connected with God has to be pure. The human consciousness has all kinds of thoughts, bad thoughts. So God's consciousness has to be pure. No, friends, there is no such thing as a bad thought, good thought. All thoughts are thoughts. Only these ignorant gurus and Swamijis will think that, that I saw a female organ today in my dream. What a bad dream. I had a bad thought. In fact, one of the very famous guru, Swamiji, left his ashram and went to the forest to meditate more when he saw a female organ, female with a female figure without any clothes. He thought, what a vulgar fellow I am. What kind of vulgar thought? There is no vulgar thought or good thought or bad thought. It's all thought. You are thinking that the world has told you that's the bad one. That's all. From a divine point of view, there is no bad thought. A female body is not seeing a female body is not a bad one. That's divine. A human being, a human child is born naked. It doesn't come with the cloth. It comes with a sexual organ open to everybody. They're all ignorances, people. Tremendous amount of ignorances are there. So realize this. Folks, there is nobody can tell this so clearly to people, to humanity, as I am. My consciousness which is here is not a normal one. It is a divine consciousness which is in the divine mind. You have only the human consciousness. I have human consciousness as well as the divine consciousness. I need human consciousness. Without that, I cannot speak to you. But there is a divine consciousness which knows all these things. through not only spiritual experiences, I can talk about it with so much energy. Where is this energy coming from? From the divine mind. You are thinking that Premasai, the future third Sai Baba, of future of Satya Sai Baba, will come and teach unconditional love. There is no Prema Sai coming. All the Prema Sais which are posing themselves as a Prema Sai, they are all fake. I am the one who is teaching unconditional love from the day one. My very first experience is the experience of golden light, which is love, unconditional love. That love does not have any affiliation with anybody, any caste or any religion or any race or any such thing. It is totally unconnected. But you have it. But you mix that with your thought and then say that I love my mother, I love my wife. At that point, the real unconditional love is being contaminated by your thought, by attaching that divine consciousness, the gold consciousness with the thought is my mother. That's how you mix and then live in this world. But you need your human mind to live in this world. But that does not mean that you can treat people differently. Now look at what's going on in Iran war. It's a religious fight. It's a fight between Muslims, one variety, one type of Muslims, and Jews, the chosen people. They think that they are chosen people. Nobody. If Jews think that they are a chosen people by God, and everybody else should come and worship them, they are going to be driven away from their homeland, so-called homeland, again. They think now they are getting the support of United States and leasing all kinds of trying to eliminate Iran. Can they do it? No. They thought as soon as the United States president and his company thought that as soon as that Ayatollah Khomeini, the chief, is killed, no, there will be riots in Iran, and then we will tell. United States will tell who should be the next president of Iran. That's what Mr. President of United States was saying. All those things didn't happen. There is what is called nationalism, folks. Nationalism, as well as they are also a human being. They are rooted in their religion. So, remember, ignorance of various symbols that you are worshipping prevents Hinduism, the Sanatana Dharma, being spread to the whole world. If I tell this, anybody will hear this? No. Very few. They will say that, who are you to tell all this? Kalki will come and tell this and spread Sanatana Dharma. Oh, go ahead and wait for your Kalki to come on a white horse. He's not going to come, my dear friends. I am the only one born with the full knowledge of the divine world, up to from the top to the bottom in the human universe. Nobody else is going to come and talk to you about all these things. Anyway, it's time. If you have any question, please let me know. Through your comments, I will respond. Talk to you soon, folks, on another important topic.